Hey guys, today we're gonna overclock the RX 5700 XT and also undervoltage the card also. So first of all, you want to go into AMD Radeon software. You want to install it, get it done. Click in performance, click in tuning. You will be in automatic default. So you want to click into manual. And first of all, you want to open up the power tuning and then slide it to the max. Apply change. And then you would overclock your GPU tuning first. So enable GPU tuning, enable AM advanced control. What we're playing is with the P3 right here. So first of all, you're gonna set it to 1200. That's gonna be the max that they let you. And then 2150 is also the max that they would give for your GPU. So first of all, this right here will run. It won't crash. Majority of card will run this just fine. But what you want to do is to check for stability is either using having a benchmark right here, or but personally I like to just open up like a game from Steam, like The Witcher 3 or Battlefront 2, stuff like GPU intensive game, and just leave it running on your computer for 30 minutes or an hour, like 10-20 minutes. That should be great too, just to see the stability. So I already overclocked this card already, and I know what my undervoltage is also where the card is stable. So what you want to do is there's two ways to do this. You want to either go from low to up, which will cause some crash, or from up to low, which mean like, so from the bottom to up, right? You will start with like 1100. You enter it and then it will crash sometime. It depends on the card. It's Silicon Lari, so some card will do way more efficient than others. I know that my card would run perfectly fine at 2150 and 1160 voltage. And here's the thing. Here's the difference between NVIDIA overclocking and AMD overclocking. So AMD lets you put in the target time. The target frequency. So it means that it will boost as high as it can. Not at 2150. It might only boost at 2100, for example, 2090, 2080. But in NVIDIA card, if you put in like 2100, for example, it will boost to 2100. So that's the difference. So my card, for example, I play around with. I started with 1100, crash 1110, crash 1125, stable a little bit but still crash. 1130 would be stable in heaven benchmark but will crash in video game. So this is why I prefer the video game stability check, because I spend most of my time playing video game on this card. And then once you reach a point at where it is stable, you play a bunch of game, it didn't crash, it didn't show any like flickering on the monitor. The reason why you want to undervolt is probably like to get like better temp and also better power consumption, so it doesn't take too much power and run as hot. So after this, after you find your stable clock, you will try to overclock your VRAM tuning. Would enable the advanced control. So I find out that my card will run at 1810. Some other people card that I see on YouTube run at 1830, 1820, some even 1850. This totally depend on the card. So my card is kind of weak. It's only 1810, and other card would do better in VRAM. About VRAM tuning, you will. So majority of game do not like VRAM tuning, but like you can get a bunch of performance out of VRAM tuning also. So if you open up a game, at 1830. For example, my card at 1830. If I open up Battlefront 2, basically there's gonna be flicker on the menu because there's an option to run 4K on Battlefront menu or 1080p. So just choose the 4K and then you can see flickering if I go to 1820, 1830, but it seems to do fine at 1810. And the last thing I want to talk about is fan tuning. You can play around with this if you want, like play around with the curve, but so if you want, if your card, my card is a RX, Asus Strix Rog card, so it's a fairly decent card. It's a great card actually. It's run nice and cool, and it can draw a lot of power. Also, it's power hungry. But so if I want to really run the card aggressively, I could set the fan speed up like this, and the card will run majority of the time cool. But I just enable 0 RPM, so the card will not spin if it's under if it's not running nothing intensive. For example, right now the fan speed is 0. The GPU hover around at 60, which is perfectly fine for me. And then so depend on your card. Some card has only like 2 fan, and that's obviously is gonna run hotter. And then the junction temp is like the hardest part on your die, on your GPU. And AMD said that the card will run fine until 110 Celsius. So majority of the time my card, for example, it's not gonna be the same like this. Majority of the time when playing video game, the current temp would be like 66, 67, 70 at most. But my junction temp would shoot up to 90, 91, 92, and that should be fine. But just don't let it hit the junction temp hit 110. So if your card is cooler, doesn't do a super good job at like keeping your card cool on default, you might want to enable the advanced control and then play around with the fan curve. And that is it. I hope you enjoy. I hope you find overclocking your card fun, getting every performance from your card, and I hope to see you next time.